Hi, hi. It's finally over. We're gonna be assembling our beanie. Okay, so first of all, you need to get all your stuff together. So these are my six large spikes. One, two, three, four, five, six. Okay, my two smaller spikes, my muzzle and the nose, the ears with the ears inserts, the major beanie, some fiber. You can use cotton or you can use other things to fill it in, fill the certain parts like the muscle and the nose and stuff. But since it's gonna be a wearable beanie, I want it to be made so that it's able to resist washes and all that. So this acrylic fiber filling that you get in, like in your pillows and stuff like that, it's hypoallergenic too, and it resists a lot. So this is the kind that I like to use, and it's very inexpensive. Sometimes when I see pillows that are in special, like things like that, I'll just grab the pillow and I'll unstuff like when it's brand new, and I will use that as my filler instead of buying the bags. So whatever is cheaper for you or whatever your preference is, go ahead and grab your filler for your beanie. I'm also going to be using this head. You don't have to, but since this is going to be, it has a lot of components, and this is going to be the first time that I'm ever going to be assembling this beanie. I really don't know exactly where everything should be already in the flat version of it. So I'm going to be using this one to kind of guide myself instead of like putting it on and like kind of figuring it out, because that's how I used to do it before, either put it on my daughter or myself and kind of like figure out where it would look okay and then take it off and then do it. So just this is kind of better. I was gifted this mannequin head by my aunt. She's a cosmetologist, but this is one of the old ones that she already ran out. Like, she did all the cuts and all the stuff that she needed to do with it, and she had no use for it anymore. You could either buy one or buy those styrofoam ones, or you can go to your local beauty school, and once these are done, they're usually shaven to the point after you can't do any more cuts to it, and they usually like just like dispose of them. So maybe you can buy a couple of them where they have no hair and stuff like that. You can kind of like either come to an agreement with them whether to buy it or to be gifted it, or whatever you want, whatever you settle with them. But yeah, they are very practical. So, and they're kind of, and they're very proportionate too. So if you, some of the other dolls that I've seen, they don't have like well proportion in the forehead area. They're kind of like just like, just there's no contour or anything like that. And these, because they are made for the students to be human head like, they have that shape, perfect shape. So I'm gonna be using this. Sorry if you can't really see it, but I'm gonna be using this to kind of like figure out where everything's gonna go. So first of all, I'm gonna grab my beanie and I'm gonna check where the ridge is, because once you start joining the rounds, you're gonna get like a line, like a ridge line, and that's what's gonna be on the back. Okay, so that I will put towards the back, and usually I don't I always leave the little tail just so that I can go ahead and determine where the back of it is fast. I don't like to weave in the ends. I usually try to wait until the last minute to do that, just so I use them as like markers and reminders and stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on the beanie. Okay, and this, I'm not gonna put it like on her head like that, so I'm not gonna just like put it down. I'm gonna put it how I think the person that I'm gonna be gifting this would probably wear it, or normally would wear it. You can go like this or go more back or whatever, but I like to kind of like how you would normally wear the beanie, so that when you put it on, it's where the stuff is where it's supposed to be. Okay. So this is the beanie. I put it on. If you don't have this, you don't need, you can use a ball too. deflate a ball to like somewhat to resemble a shape of a head. And this is only when you barely gonna figure out where the first beanie you're gonna make of that item. You know, you don't have to do this once you start making them often. You'll kind of figure out and you can count on the markings where to place them, and you don't need this anymore. But when I like to use this when I'm barely gonna figure it out. So I'm gonna put this on the side. And I have a picture of Sonic next to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and use it as a guide to kind of like give me a view of what I'm doing. So first of all, we're gonna start with the muzzle, okay? Or actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna start with the muzzle. So I wanna make sure that I find a good place for it, okay? You can put it here, or you can, I'm actually gonna try to put it because remember, you still have to put the eyes on here. So I think I'm gonna do it towards the edge, okay? So it can kind of like give me a, so I'm gonna try to put it around here, okay? So that's where I'm gonna sew it, and I'm gonna sew most of it, and then once I'm almost done, I'll stuff it in. But first, before I stuff it in, I'm gonna attach the nose to it, because then it will be kind of hard to do it, because I want to go right through the center of it. So I'm gonna grab my needle, and I'm gonna use the same tail that it has to attach it. So I'm gonna grab a little bit, just a little bit. I do want to pack it very tightly, and it still has a lot of the yarn that the ends of the yarn that I didn't use. And remember, just kind of stretch it and push in you can use your hook to help you out as well. Sometimes these little things kind of hard. I'm kind of trying to make sure everything is stuck in there and stuff. And yeah, I don't want it to come through either, so I'm gonna, okay, I think that should be good. So I'm kind of trying to fix it. Okay, see, it's not coming out. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is it doesn't really matter, because I'm gonna go ahead and pass it through the other side so that you can have kind of like secure the stuffing in, because it kind of wants to come out. So okay, so just bear with me. I'm putting it through the middle. Okay, I'm putting it through the middle, and I'm gonna flip it and attach it, so you see. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and sew it. So I went through the middle, and I'm gonna go slightly off the middle, but in the same kind of like in the same place, just with a little bit on, well, a little bit of an offset. See, came out. So let me go ahead and put it in. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my one of my tails, and I'm gonna tie it so that it doesn't slip up, in case I mess up and I put it through the same hole, like right now, just for extra security. Okay, and I'm gonna, you know what, I'm gonna do a surgeon's knot to make it extra secure. So I'm looping it through it twice, and then I will pull it. Okay, if it's good enough to hold your skin together, it should be good enough to hold two pieces of yarn together. Okay, so now I will go ahead and come up again through the middle and go through to the side, so I can start. It's okay if it comes off, you just put it back on. It's just I don't want to grab another piece and do it. But if you don't want to struggle with it, you can grab a new piece of light yarn and use that. But I want to make sure, I just want to use this one. I think there's no need for me to like grab it. Okay. So now I'm gonna go ahead and go through the middle again. And it shouldn't come up anymore. Come off anymore. Because I did use the surgeon knots not to hold it into place while I sew it. So now I'm gonna come up again. And I'm gonna come up slightly to the side of the stitch. And I could even go through the middle of a stitch because I have my needle is pointy. It's not a dull top needle. It's an actual pointy needle. So I like to use these so that I go through the stitches and don't really go all the way through it. I just go like on top of it so that you don't see it through the other side. But since this one's gonna be covered, I really want to get into it like straight up and down instead of just weaving it through the top. And I'll show you guys what I mean when I do my Minnie Mouse hat tutorial that I did, and I'll post a picture, or I'll put up a picture once at the end of this video so you guys can see it. And if you guys like it, I'll go ahead and make a tutorial on it. And that one's really easy to make. I already have the pattern for it, and I took it out of I used portions of Yolanda's Mickey Mouse hat, and then I added some elements to make it Minnie, like crochet polka dots and the bow, and and the ridges at the end of the hat, like towards the brim. I changed the stitches so that it could just have a better decorative. And I make actually two versions of the mini hat. One the same as Yolanda makes her Mickey hat, and the other one that I've seen somewhere. I can't remember from who, but I really liked it, but they didn't make a pattern for it, so I kind of tried to recreate it in my own way. So hopefully it works out. Okay, I can't use my needle no more, so I'm gonna grab a crochet hook and I'm gonna weave it in with the crochet hook. Like I said, I would have saved a lot of time if I would have just grabbed a new piece of black yarn, but it's too far and I'm tired, and I just want to get over with this tutorial. I've been doing it through several days. It's taking me very long to make this, and when I put it together, you're gonna see like I have like I think in almost in every part where I cut, I have a different shirt because it's a different day. Like right now it's like almost 2 o'clock in the morning Pacific time, and I'm doing this. So yeah, it was hard. Like there were some parts that were giving me a lot of problems because I've never really attempted to do one with so many like different features. Usually most of the features in the other hats are like rounds or just like simple shapes, but these I had a couple challenges in some of the shapes, and then trying to put the patterns together so that it can fit and kind of have the look that I want, because I used I think about four different types of inspirations and patterns to make this hat. And I visited different YouTube channels too that make certain different types of gaming crochet doll toys, and checked them out, and I saw like certain like their techniques just so that I can kind of get it a little bit to look that way. Okay, I put it on already, and you can always adjust it a little bit once you have it on, you can sew it more or whatever. Okay, I'm gonna grab just a little bit of the filling and I'm just gonna do the nose because I think that I really need to like kind of have at least that filled in to kind of guide myself. So now that I have the nose, okay, I'm gonna grab my hat through the front, okay, and I'm gonna check to see, let me see, I'm trying to, okay, this goes with the, I think it goes like this, okay, so it'll be right here. See, I'm gonna flatten it out a little bit because I don't want it to be too like, because in the picture it's not like super bulky, it's somewhat like flat like that. So I think I'm gonna do it kind of like this. Okay, so yeah, like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and sew from here, actually from here, from this part right here all the way down, and I'm gonna leave the top open. And there's gonna be a purpose for that because once I start making the eyes, and I haven't crocheted them, those are the ones I'm gonna leave to the end because I still haven't decided what version of the eyes I'm gonna make, and I wanna just have this attached in the other part so that I can give myself an idea because I'm really like iffy about the eyes. So I'm gonna go ahead and sew it. So just regular sewing and up to here, up to here. So I'm gonna sew that and then I'll come back and we can go ahead and attach the ears and then we'll attach the hair and then we'll go ahead and do the eyes together. Okay, let me show you. I pinned it. Okay, and it's gonna be one round before the last round of the brim. So this is the last round of the brim. It's gonna be pinned in the middle in the second to last. Okay, so I pinned it. I couldn't find my little bobby pin that I used in other times because on this one I don't want to put the safety pins because I want it to be kind of rigid. So okay, so I did it with my little hooks. So I did it from the top because this is the shape that I want. Okay, and now I'm gonna start again sewing from one corner of the mouth to this side of the muzzle or mouth, whatever you want to call it. And I already gave it the shape that I want, and I took some of the stuffing out. Remember, I just left the little one for the tip of the nose, and I took the rest out so it can help me kind of shape it and keep it in place so it's not too bulky. So I'm gonna go ahead and start sewing, and I'm just gonna go in and out, in and out, in and out, just regular weaving it. Okay, and then I'll show you guys. I stranded my needle with the tan yarn, and then I did a knot at the end, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start. I'll be right back as soon as I'm done. Okay, this is how I ended up sewing the bottom only, and the front it still hasn't been sewn. And like I said, I'm gonna sew it as soon as I make the eyes because I already know where exactly I want my eyes and how big. So I'm gonna go like this with white crochet. And again, I shaped it. I didn't stuff it a lot. I just grabbed a couple of this, like about, I would say about this much, but I broke it down into balls, into pieces, and then like I kind of flattened them kind of like rolls so that I can stuff it like that instead of just yanking balls in there because I want to give it a firm but not too filled shape because his face is not super rounded. It's kind of like a triangle kind of thing. So I don't want it to overfill it. So this is about as much as I'm gonna fill it, and that's it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it, and then I'm gonna pinch it a little bit to create the ridge. I'm gonna pinch it like that, and then I'm gonna create that little kind of M kind of ridge. So let me go ahead and get started on that, and I'll be right back.